The war had been raging for years. The Threxian Empire, a powerful alien race with advanced technology, had set its sights on Earth. Their mission was clear: wipe out humanity and claim the planet as their own. After all, Earth was just a tiny, insignificant world in the grand scheme of the galaxy, or so the Threxians thought. Surgeon Kor, a seasoned Threxian soldier, stood at the edge of the battlefield, his piercing yellow eyes scanning the chaotic scene. The human resistance had been fighting fiercely, but it was nothing compared to the Threxian might. Their weapons were far superior, their ships faster, and their technology more advanced. It should have been an easy conquest. But Kor was starting to feel uneasy. He had seen his comrades fall. He had witnessed the destruction of entire human cities, only to have those cities rise again like a stubborn weed. The humans kept coming, no matter what the Threxians did to them. It was as if nothing could stop them. He clenched his fists, frustrated. "These humans, they're insane," he muttered to himself. His mind flashed back to the most recent battle. The Threxians had launched an assault on a small human settlement. The soldiers had stormed the town, using their plasma guns to incinerate everything in sight. But when Kor and his squad had moved in to secure the area, they had been met with resistance like no other. The humans didn't run. They didn't panic. They fought back with everything they had. Kor had seen one human, a woman, charge toward him with nothing but a rusty knife in her hand. She had fought like a lion, slashing at his armor with surprising precision. It was laughable, really. But then something strange happened. The Threxian soldier beside Kor had taken a hit to the chest from one of the human's homemade weapons. A crude spear, but somehow it had pierced his advanced armor. Impressive, Kor had thought at the time, though he had dismissed it as a lucky shot. But this wasn't luck. No matter how many times the Threxians decimated their cities, no matter how many soldiers fell in battle, the humans never gave up. They always regrouped, always rebuilt. It was as if they were born to fight, to survive, to never stop. Kor was perplexed. What was it about these creatures that made them so unkillable? He shook his head, trying to focus. The commander's orders were clear: crush the human resistance, no matter the cost. But every time they struck, the humans found a way to come back stronger. Even their own advanced technology was no match for the resilience of these fragile, weak creatures. As Kor and his squad moved deeper into human territory, they found themselves in another battle. The humans had set up a makeshift fortress in the middle of a forest. It wasn't much, just a few walls of metal and wood, but it would have been enough to trap any normal species. The Threxians could have easily overwhelmed them, but the humans had a plan. They knew how to fight the Threxians, how to use their own weaknesses against them. "Ready your weapons," Kor ordered, gripping his plasma rifle. His squad followed his command, taking their positions around the perimeter. As the humans emerged from the trees, Kor felt a wave of disbelief wash over him. There were only a few dozen of them, yet they charged forward without hesitation, armed with basic tools: axes, crossbows, even a few homemade bombs. Kor's squad opened fire, but the humans didn't falter. They dodged, they weaved, they fought with an intensity that seemed to defy reason. One human soldier, a man with a scar across his face, managed to close the distance between him and Kor. With a roar, he lunged at the Threxian surgeon, his knife aimed for Kor's throat. Kor barely managed to block the strike with his armor, but the force of the blow sent him stumbling backward. Kor was stunned. The human had fought with no fear, no hesitation. He had been ready to die to take down his enemy, and the Threxian could feel it. This wasn't just a battle of strength. This was a battle of wills. At the humans, they had the willpower of 1,000 warriors. He fired his rifle, hitting the human in the shoulder, but the man didn't go down. He kept pushing forward, relentless, until another human came from behind and tackled Kor to the ground. Kor struggled, trying to free himself, but the human soldiers were like a swarm, overwhelming him with sheer determination and courage. He could hear their voices, shouting in unison, urging each other on, even as their comrades fell around them. And then, for the first time in the entire war, Kor understood something that had been eluding him all along. It wasn't the weapons, or the technology, or the advanced tactics that made the humans dangerous. It was their spirit, their unyielding will to survive, to fight for their world, and to never, ever give up. It was something the Threxians had underestimated, something they had never encountered before. Kor lay on the ground, panting heavily. He had fought battles across the galaxy, but none had ever made him feel this helpless. The humans were like a force of nature, a storm that could not be stopped. "These humans are King Unkillable," he whispered in awe, his voice filled with both fear and respect. As the last of the human fighters retreated into the forest, Kor realized that the Threxian Empire had underestimated them in the worst possible way. The humans would never surrender. They would fight until the last breath, and they would do whatever it took to protect their world. And that, Kor knew, was something no army in the galaxy could ever defeat.